Hi, welcome to the first part of this drill on crane stance, which is basically a drill designed for improving your balance. So for the black belts, you should all be familiar with crane stance. For the colour belts, you probably aren't. So I will explain crane stance to you. Firstly, it's a one-legged stance, just like Karate Kid crane stance. Okay, but what you want to do, the trick to making crane stance work is to turn your balancing foot slightly out about a 45-degree angle and bend that knee. And then you're going to bring your right knee up and you're going to hook your foot into the back of your left knee, like so. Okay? And as I say, if you keep your knee bent and your foot slightly pointed out to the side, you'll actually find that relatively easy to stand on one leg. Okay? That's the version that is normally taught in the standard version that's normally taught in Taekwondo. There is another version of the crane stance, which you'll see taught in Chinese martial arts. Again, same thing, the foot slightly turned out, it's probably a little bit higher up, and instead of having the knee point below the hip, the knee is actually brought up above the hip, and then the foot will be turned inwards slightly as if you're about to throw a side kick. Okay, so the foot is in that sort of edge of heel position. Okay, that's a harder version of the crane stance to maintain. Okay, so the easier version is this, the harder version is that. So depending on how your balance is and what you want, if you're finding the basic version of the crane stance easy, do the more advanced version. And if you're finding that the advanced version too hard, do the easier version. Okay, but the better you get, the more advanced you can do. Okay, so the drill is we're going to go into our crane stance, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a low block a right low block to the right side. Okay, the next thing we're going to do from that position is we're going to do, so from here, low block from this side, the next thing we're going to do is a spear hand. So you're going to press down with the left and spear hand over the top with the right to the front. Okay, so we're doing right low block to the right, and then right spear hand to the front. Okay, so right low block to the right, and right spear hand to the front. Okay, staying in the crane position. Okay, we're going to try it on the other side. So from this position here, crane position, low block with the left to the left side, and then spear hand to the left. Okay, so low block and spear hand. So you're always watching what the other hand is doing as well. So as you low block, you're chambering the left hand, and as you spear hand, you're going to be pressing down with the right as you spear hand with the left. Okay, so we're going to practice those. Obviously, the more repetitions you do, the more you're working on your actual stance. Okay, and again, if you're finding that more advanced stance a little bit difficult, then there's no problem sort of tucking that foot into the back of the knee and dropping the stance a little bit more. Okay, so practice those. So go from low block to spear hand, low block to spear hand. Practice on one side, practice on the other side. Excellent.